to the channel. Tuesday now in the shop. Showed a little bit yesterday of Bailey pulling the transmission out of his 98 Dodge. Converter failure, it only lasted about a month, and the converter went out. Single disc, kind of a economy converter, but it is commanding pressure. Solenoid kicks on, it makes pressure, it just won't lock up. So culprit there being the converter. I think he rode on it when he put it in somewhere, but the tranny was only in the truck for about a month. This could be due to his driving habits, potentially per se, but we don't know yet, to be honest. We have a 2018 Ram 1500, and it's a diesel. You guys can guess, it's the Ecodiesel. These trucks are plagued with a lot of issues that probably could have been fixed, you know, in the manufacturing process. The truck has a service electronic throttle code right now. So you start it up. And then you can see that little lightning bolt there. It'll come up, service electronic throttle right there. So there's a couple different things that can be. I've had them do it in the past, and it's just been the intake, the EGR cooler cracks. It puts all the soot that's built up in the intake. The coolant mixes with that. It gets really hard. It screws up the stepper motors in the intake. It'll clog up all the map sensor and everything. It's just common. I feel like that's what's going to happen on this. So I'll pull the map sensor and see if it's full of trash, and if that's the case, we'll try pull the EGR tube off, peek down in the intake. Oh, get that out of there. And we'll see what is going on with this thing. So step one, let me pull this map sensor out. All right guys, map sensor is located on the intake, obviously. It's a T40 to pull it out. And the socket I grabbed is not a good one. Or ratchet, per se. We were able to make it work. Let's see what it looks like, but it's completely clogged. Yep. Okay. You guys see that? Maybe. That entire sensor is completely full of soot. How is it going to read boost pressure when it's clogged like that? It can't. So let's pull the intake real quick, see what the EGR tube looks like, and get a peek inside the intake and see what it looks like. We'll stick a borescope in there because we're probably going to be recommending an intake on this thing. Try not to drop that one, you dummy. Jeez, it's just a trade. Just like anything though. Let's pop this guy out of here. Oh yeah, it's completely full. Completely full of carbon. I'm gonna be using a borescope to look down inside this intake and check out the runners on it. If they get like that material that we see on the intake pipe here is likely all over the intake runner valves, and it's definitely a contributing factor to a lot of the issues that we're seeing on this truck right now. So I've actually had this truck in here before, and we recommended to do an intake, but we drove it. I put many miles on it and couldn't get it to come back. And I told him, I said, man, it's up to you. I really don't think that you absolutely have to do it right now, but drive it and we'll see. That was earlier this year, and it's back now for the same service electronic throttle code. All right guys, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but right here is an intake runner flap. And it looks like it's stuck in like the half closed, half open position. So now we need to talk with the customer, see what he wants to do. Do you want to clean it? Do we want to put an intake on it, which is my recommendation? New EGR cooler, new intake, new map sensor. Talk with him, see what he wants to do, and get some pricing put together and see which avenue we're going to take. It is a super nice clean truck, so I have a feeling he's going to want to fix it. Thursday morning now, guys, and we are headed to the gas station to grab some coffee. Notice another customer truck there. Looks like dropped off. Oh, he's complaining of a ball joint. Four-wheel drive lights on. It's LML Duramax. So when we get back, we'll check that thing out, because he kind of needs it back as soon as possible. And it should just be a real quick, easy in and out job. But anyhow, like I said, head to the gas station. Worked on Bailey's barn a little bit last night, but it wasn't enough. There wasn't enough progress done for me to film it, and it'll just be a whole separate video when we start on metal, probably the part 3 of it. Look at my trash cans, guys. I have so many trash cans. This is actually kind of funny. So while I was on vacation, Bailey had this truck dropped off, and it's a 6-liter, 2003 or 4, and it had the intake pulled off of it, turbo off of it, and the gentleman bought it that way. And Bailey, you know, basically talked to them and said, hey, for this much money, we'll put it together and see if it runs. Well, the thing runs great, and I did not expect that at all. I figured it would have been smoked. It runs, don't it?
It runs somehow.
That's stock head bolts. Of course, it sounds weird because the intake's off, but I had no hope this thing was going to start. He threw turbo on it. It sounded a little funny cranking at first, but it purrs like a kitten.
It's starting right up.
I mean, it runs good. It's not misfiring or anything, but there's gotta be a reason. But there has to be a reason why this thing was taken apart. They didn't just take it apart for no reason at all, just for fun. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Head gaskets? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, it runs really good. Of course, that doesn't mean a lot. There could be multiple things going on with it, but
Well, it's got an exhaust fan clamp leaking. I don't know why they really took it into.
why would they, unless they just simply didn't know? There's, I'm gonna open this door, get some of the smoke out of here from that thing running. There's a set of heads in the back that don't look like they've ever been installed, but they sat outside so long that they're junk, which sucks because these heads are not cheap. This is $2 grand right here. And they don't look like they've ever been put on. They look like a brand new set of heads that just got neglected and sat outside. I've been spending a good part of the day, guys, working on this Fummins. I don't know where we were really at in the last video, but I'll show you kind of what I've done today. These trucks from the factory have a gigantic HVAC box that we don't need, and we can gain ourselves a lot of room by deleting it. So we deleted it, and I patched the firewall, through riveted it with 16 gauge steel and painted it real nice. You know, I mean, he's gonna have this thing repainted anyways, but I went ahead and did that. And I got a transfer case put in it. Transfer case installed, just a mock-up unit. And right now I am welding a patch on the floor for this is the hump that kind of covers the transmission. Ultimately, I was looking at a lot of different options for, this is a 4-wheel drive truck, obviously, so we want a 4-wheel drive shifter, and I found the cleanest way, I think, to do it is going to be getting a cable operated shifter for a 241 DHD. You can get them online for about $400 or $500. I know that seems like a lot, but it's literally just bolted on. It's clean. You can make it, it looks old school. It's got a nice multiple different patterns you can choose. So it just makes the most sense for me to do that with this truck. So that's another reason why I didn't just get a different floor pan center hump, because a lot of guys would probably think, why didn't you just get one out of an automatic and then cut a new hole? These are relatively inexpensive. Well, a lot of the reason is because I wanted to brace this up. So I was already going to be bracing it with the 16 gauge, so that way I can mount that four-wheel drive shifter on top of it. So I'm going through and spot welding it right now all the way around. This is obviously time consuming, and I can't just lay a bead because it'll warp the crap out of it. But overall, it's going pretty good. We're not really going for perfect looks here, guys, just for the fact that this is going to obviously get covered up. So while I've been sitting here looking at this truck and put the turbo on the passenger side here, as you can see, I went ahead and cut this fender well out, and that's probably going to throw a lot of people off and seem very unnecessary. But our battery box has holes in it. There was a big rust hole in this inner fender well, and I'm not really happy with how the initial cuts went on this thing. On the driver's side to try and clearance for everything. It's weak, it's got random holes all over it, and it's not doing a lot. I mean, ultimately I think what I'm going to do is do a clean cut like I did. I have a nibbler here from Snap-on, and I'm just going to cut this thing completely out and then brace up, try to make some type of other fender well liner. Like I said, I know it sounds ridiculous, and I've waited this long to do it, but I don't know what to do with these things and make it look halfway decent. There's just holes in it, there's rust in it, yeah. So I'm gonna trim this thing all the way out. Not to change the subject, but I was working on getting that cut out, and Bailey got this thing to where we can run it. He got this thing to where we can run it and get it warm enough to see what exactly, you know, we're wondering why was it taken apart. I don't understand. It was brought here taken apart. We want to know why. It's a 032, so it's got the super loud turbo on it. I think we're gonna back this thing out here in the driveway and let it run. It's got water in it. We didn't put coolant in it because we didn't want to waste money on coolant if it's got one of those gaskets. So just temporarily put some water in it and topped it off with oil and see how it runs. Well, guys, Bailey just got his converter back in his truck, and it did fix him losing overdrive or lockup. Sorry, Mason. This one will correct you, but he just, you know. Yeah, we know. What happened to your ball joint? Let's see it. What happened to your ball joint? It came out, man. Well, shoot. It is now Friday, about 2:30. I started my day with planning on going to get like a new finish mower for my tractor, but I went and looked at it and kind of talked myself out of it because it's a 7-footer. Anyways, that's like nothing to do with this. I don't know if you guys care or not. But anyhow, I spent my day doing that, and then I realized that it's super hot today, and I want to get this air conditioning fixed on this LOY. So hopefully I can throw that in this video before it gets closed out. A lot of that's going to determine if they have the parts in stock that we need. So I bought this truck, guys, with no air conditioning. With the air conditioning not functioning, it's missing several pieces. It's missing a couple of the hoses that go over to the dryer. It's missing the condenser, and I'm just gonna pray that the evaporator core is good so I don't have to pull the dash out of this thing. But with that being said, I have some of the parts up here already that were pulled off a used truck. Looks like I got both the lines here. I have another pump if I need it. Make sure I have all the seals here. These seals look fine, but I am missing, however, one seal, and it is where the large hose goes into the pump. There's no seal there, so I gotta make sure I can get that too. Get a dryer, and hopefully we have some hardware around here that'll work. Guys, check this out. Charged the air conditioning, started it while it was taken apart, and it's ice cold. Went ahead and did a Schaefer's oil change on this unit. You guys know we are big believers of Schaefer's oil. So I went ahead and changed the oil on it because I just got the truck about 2 weeks ago and hadn't changed the oil on it yet. So we got that done, and it's all back together now. And we're gonna see together how cold this air conditioning really is. Come on. $1,200 tool. Tell us how cold it is. It's way colder than that. This stuff is ice cold. You guys can see it works on everything else. 80 degrees on that wall. Well, I guess you guys just have to take my word on it that it's ice cold. It's working great. I am really happy with that because not having AC, I was gonna try and tough it out and not fix it for the year, but I'm glad I put a couple hours in it and a few $100s and got this baby with some ice cold air conditioning. But without further ado, all good things come to an end, including this video, guys. So be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys on the next video.